amazing too. Trust me, you look really, really beautiful.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Let's introduce each other. If you want to introduce yourself first and tell everyone your name, where you're from, what you do, and what you're all about.
Okay, so my name is Precious, but most people call me Adora, and I've gotten used to it already. My friends and people that are just getting to know me. And I am a Nigerian. I am currently living in Nigeria at the moment. Currently, I'm rounding up my master's program in the University of Ibadan, which is kind of like one of the best, if not the best, in my country. I am also a Korean teacher.
The class is available for beginners and intermediate level. This video is a compilation of the sessions from the last class, and it was beginners class, but depending on your level, you can either decide to join the beginners class or the intermediate class. To join the intermediate class, you have to take a short level test for me to be sure that you're actually in the intermediate class before class commences. Also, if you do not want to join the group class, I also offer private lessons where it's just going to be you and I one-on-one with all our classes. Classes are mostly weekends, but depending on everyone's available time, we can come up with something that can work for everyone. That's for the group class. Also, there's the physical option class for those that are in Ibadan. If you're in Ibadan and you want a class physically, it's also possible. So if you're interested in any of these classes, just send a DM or send a message to the number on the screen. 저랑 같이 한국어 배우고 싶으면 그런 메시지를 보내주세요. 제가 그쪽은 가르치면 진짜 빠른 시간에 한국어 잘할 수 있을 거예요. 그거 약속해요. 빨리 메시지 보내주세요. 기다릴게요.
I also do translating jobs with countries Korean companies that come into Nigeria to work, and when they need translations with locals like Nigerian people that they want to work with, so I kind of help them with translations. And I also currently own a Korean mart that is like a mini convenience store where people that want to get Korean products or have that Korean experience in Nigeria can, walk into, get their products. There's also this Korean corner I created. I don't know if you can see it behind me. The old space inside there has the old K-drama, K-pop feel with the celebrities hanging on the wall and stuff, and then books where you can learn more about Korea, Korean cuisine, Korean culture, and a lot of things. I am currently working towards publishing my book. I wrote a book last year, because I realized that one of the issues that I had, or one of the problems I had learning Korean, was I didn't really have that opportunity to have resources to use. So I decided, let's just create something that would be relatable for people to read. I am hoping to get it published in a couple of months. The content of the book is more of you practicing. There is the part of teaching, but then there's also the part of whatever it is that you learned in a chapter. You have to practice it, and you can only do that by writing on it.
So it's more like a workbook type of thing where you can write in it and learn.
With a workbook together. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. How many languages do you know in total?
For those the ones I'm fluent in, English, Yoruba, and Korean. I'll say I'm fluent in them to an extent. I like using to an extent because I still learn a lot of things every day, including English that I grew up speaking and my native language. So I know them to a certain extent where I'm able to converse well without any problem. So that's 3. Then for the other ones that I'm still in the learning phase is Japanese. I dropped Chinese and I'm about to speak Spanish. So yeah.
Oh, cool. So if you didn't know, my first language was Spanish. I don't look Spanish. What was it like for you in the beginning of learning Korean versus where you are now, in your life with Korean?
So if I look at how I was then and now, obviously there's been a lot of changes, drastic changes. And I tell people that when you want to learn Korean, I don't support going through using different resources. That's because I have experience, and I can tell you that if you do that, you get confused. Because if I tell people that it took me about 3 to 4 years before I was finally able to make sentences and talk very well in Korean, it took that long because I was jumping from one place to another. But now when I'm teaching, when I have to do any class, it's easier for me to just streamline it down to just one material and just use it to teach. So compared to then and comparing myself then to now, it's like I can see clearly how this thing is supposed to be, the steps to take, the process to go about this thing compared to that time.
That's my problem too. Like, that's why I've been so like on and off with Korean, because I can't seem to find the right person for me. And I think everybody has their own way of how they obtain knowledge, like the way that works for them more. Some people are more visual. They need to be in a classroom maybe, or actually speak with someone like you, like online, to help guide them.
We all have different assimilation skills. For some people now, if they decide to read online, they'll get it in like months and they're good already. Whereas there are some people that they really need people to guide them. You need to sit yourself down, find the method that works for you, and then go all in.
Any apps that you recommend for beginners, or any specific YouTube channels that you feel helped you along your journey?
This is my own personal, opinion, but I don't really think apps help that much. If not anything, they confuse a lot. But there are few apps that I can mention, and I think I'm just going to mention one, which I feel like a lot of people use already, which is Duolingo. So now the thing about Duolingo is the fact that it is just a practice app. It is not a teaching app. You are already familiar with this language and you just want to practice to get better. Because there's another thing Duolingo has that I really love, and it's this daily reminder. Like, you have to study, you have to practice every day that you get. So that's like one reason why, although I wouldn't recommend it for teaching, I'll recommend it for practicing. So if you really want to learn, if you cannot get a tutor to teach you, then try sites or try YouTube videos rather than apps. But I can single-handedly pick out one, which is Talk to Me in Korean. I don't know if you know about it, TMIK.
Yes.
Talk to Me in Korean. When I found them, I was like, that's all. Like, this research on resources ends today. So they have a lot of resources online. They even have an app as well. It used to be free. Some of their courses used to be free at the time I was learning, but sadly, a lot of things are now being paid for, and you have to like get membership to get some of their resources and stuff. But they'll still be my number one favorite. You can check out their videos on YouTube. You can also check their website, talktomeinkorean.com. They have like a lot of, for my teaching, like the classes I teach as well, I draw out my resources from some of their lessons, because there's this easy to follow steps that they have that I feel like if anyone wants to learn Korean, that's just like the perfect resource to use. So my recommendation would be Talk to Me in Korean.
Culture shock when it comes to speaking with people from Korea and meeting them for the first time.
In person.
How did you go through that? Did you go through that when you first started doing translation?
Definitely. So first of all, it's going to be that moment when you have to speak. All this while has always been online. Even my very first translating job was online. But when I had to do the first physical job where I had to be there in person, I was nervous. I was not confident. I was not sure I could do it. I was really scared. But one thing that really, really helped me was the fact that they were so welcoming. Like, it was more or less like they were so nice that they made you feel like, oh my God, you know how to speak Korean? That's so amazing. That's so nice. You sound so good. Your accent is this. And all that just makes you feel confident about your skills. And you're like, oh no, not really. Just a little. I'm trying. And like, no, don't say that. That's the thing about Korean. They used to do this online. And I actually thought that it was just a few of them. But a lot of them are like that. And it's very helpful for Korean speakers when they're trying to speak to them, and you welcome them with that open arms. So that really helped me a lot to reduce the nervousness and the tension that I had then, and I started having more confidence in myself that you can actually do this thing. You can. So that was like what really helped me then, the fact that they are very welcoming. So I was actually scared that I couldn't do it. I couldn't face them, but they made me realize that you've got this, you can do this, you're good at this, and stuff like that.
Yes, and that's what it's all about. We love it. We love the positivity. Unfortunately, I didn't record the last part of the interview, which I'm so sad about. But It was so amazing to speak with Adora, and I will cherish that interview forever. She was amazing, and I learned so much about myself and the techniques that I need to work on so I can be fluent just like Adora.